It's perhaps no coincidence that in the past year, the number of U.S. airstrikes has tripled in Yemen. While Americans were busy celebrating the death of Osama bin Laden 2 years ago, rumblings of a new Al-Qaeda threat were growing. The terror network, while severely weakened, wasn't eliminated with its leader's death, instead finding a new stronghold in Yemen.
We are very concerned about Al-Qaeda activity and extremist activity in Yemen.
They're sort of like the coolest kids on the block in Al-Qaeda right now.
People who have proven themselves quite operationally able, both within Yemen and overseas.
Yemen, the poorest country in the Middle East, is the base for Al-Qaeda in the Arabian Peninsula, known as AQAP. Its members are the bomb makers behind terrorist acts such as the so-called underwear bombers' bid to blow up a U.S. airliner on Christmas Day, and attempts to sneak explosive packages onto U.S.-bound planes. Intent on purging the Muslim world of Western influence, AQAP has a flair for publicly executing its disloyal members, like this gruesome crucifixion last year. Several years ago, the group asserted its prominence with Inspire magazine, founded by its commander in the region, Anwar al-Awlaki, the American-born Muslim cleric killed by U.S. drone strike. Today, AQAP is considered the most capable Al-Qaeda branch, the source of the threat that led the U.S. to close more than 20 of its embassies across the Muslim world this week. But why? In Foreign Policy magazine, Yemen expert Gregory Johnson explains the U.S. is waging a war against the Al-Qaeda that was instead of the Al-Qaeda that is. Writing, compounding the problem is the U.S. insistence on focusing on personalities instead of the broader network. It comes at the expense of not attacking the root system. One of those personalities is Ayman al-Zawahiri, the Al-Qaeda operative bin Laden groomed to replace him. He's said to have ordered this latest attack, possibly in retaliation for last week's drone strike killing one of AQAP's key operatives. But whatever the motive, the Yemeni and U.S. governments are now scrambling to eliminate the threat posed by the group. CNN writes, if the core of Al-Qaeda is indeed on the road to defeat, as Obama asserted 3 weeks ago, Zawahiri clearly hasn't gotten this message. For Newsy, I'm Elizabeth Hagedorn. Multiple sources, a broader view.